The beat's hard.
Hit hard.
Welcome, everybody. We are back with the 11-year-old podcast with my good friend, Kenny Watkins.
Yo.
Good friend.
Good friend.
What does that make me?
Makes you?
Am I a great friend?
Sure, you could be a great friend.
Yes.
You're a great friend.
I'm a great friend.
All right.
Fuck you.
We go back to
Already. When we just talk about trying to keep PG.
It's all good.
Dropping that bombs right off the rip.
we're gonna be Disney. It's all
Yeah,
good.
Disney.
What grade did we meet? Was it middle school? Was it?
You went Northeast?
I went to Northeast.
Yeah, it was middle
Intermediate.
school then.
Middle school.
Okay, so was it the 7th grade?
It had to be around 7th grade.
Because you're definitely one of the longest tenoring humans that I know.
No, really?
Yeah.
There's not
Tenoring?
much from back then that you're...
I talked to one other person from high school.
and that's
I
it?
believe.
Even high school?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, all the friends that I have right now are
From...
not from
After high-
shows. Yeah,
yeah.
the show scene and all that stuff.
Okay. No, that makes me feel special.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, no, for sure.
As you should.
Dude, no, to be real though, before we get into everything else, I've been talking your shit up for years, and I'm not just saying that. YouTube channels that I follow that go over music and they'll have local music days. I'm always just repping your shit. I'm always just pushing it, be like, yo, check out this band, check out this band, check out this band, just because I appreciate the grind that you do, and I've always loved your style of music.
Thank you.
I think he's a liar.
Seriously.
I'm not. I mean, I could bring it up.
I'm gonna be honest. I don't think he's ever mentioned your band to me.
Dude, we've played it in here all the time. Get out of here. Get out of
He
here.
is one of the longest people in my life that has been supporting my music. Actually, when I was 17 years old, I had a metalcore band called One Last Time.
Yep.
And I was just talking with him before we went live that one of the last tickets that we needed to play that show, because the promoter at that time was just a very big stickler on just keeping up on all the ticket sales. And if you even short 3, he wouldn't even let you play. And if you played for 15 minutes and then you were done.
So what happened? Let me ask you. Let's say you had to sell 30. You sold 27. He doesn't let you play. What happens to those 27 tickets?
Oh, they keep that money.
They keep that money? Oh, wow.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
There's actually this one band, because I can shout this out, this band called Off the Coast. They went all the way down to this venue called Croc Rock, and they didn't
Sounds
sell
familiar.
all the tickets that they were supposed to, and their venue owner, I'm pretty sure his name was Tom Taylor, he sent them home.
That's insane.
That's crazy.
Yeah, and that was one of my favorite local bands that played in the area. And after that show, I'm not saying that that killed the band, but that was a big
Wow.
down, hit their momentum pretty heavily. You know what I mean? Because it's not cheap to do any of these shows. You know what I mean?
No, yeah.
Spending all your money on the gas, the equipment, yada yada, and then you go down there, you sell these tickets, you spend all this time, and then you get told, oh yeah, you didn't
make it.
You missed it by this much. Yeah,
That's insane.
Yeah,
I'd rather not know how many I missed it by.
let them play for 15 minutes. Don't send them
something.
home.
I don't understand how that increase how that helps them in any way. I guess they already have the money, so fuck the show. Who cares if this band doesn't play?
Yeah.
Is that how they feel? They already have their money?
At that time, so from when I first started playing shows, there was I believe, I don't want to name drop and
Yeah.
So there was a group of people definitely within my area, the northeastern PA area, Allentown area, that were really heavy in the ticket sales for the touring acts. But the way that they were using these local bands is they knew that they would draw the local fans more, so they'd make all these people sell these tickets, and then when they would come and play the show, they're playing for 20 whatever minutes, 25 minutes, even maximum.
Yeah.
And all that money that they came in through, they're only getting $1 a ticket.
Right.
$2 a ticket, even though they're bringing in most of the bands. You know what I mean? So they were just kind of using these local acts to just
bring in
gross
local people. Yeah.
Money and all that stuff, and then just kind of leaving them out to dry and stuff like that. So
yeah, it's just it doesn't if I sold 27 tickets and I didn't sell 30 tickets, why not just what's the hurt in letting me still play? I'm not wasting time. That time was already put aside for me anyway.
And it would be one thing if it was periodical that this is happening. This is after so many years of having to do this, it's going to kill any band. You have to continue to do that unless you have some type of revenue coming from other places.
Right. Or you have a really strong fan base.
I know for myself, my mother was buying my tickets actually. For the first 2 shows that One Last Time played. One was Hard On Fest, and then there was like another one. She bought almost all the tickets.
Yeah,
She just
but at
got
that
crazy
point, you're
for it.
basically like paying to play.
Yeah, well, I was 17. It was my first show, and
Right.
I was like, Mom, I don't know anybody that's gonna buy these tickets.
Right.
And she was just like, I'm gonna just buy them and just play the show. Yeah.
It's a supportive mother.
Yeah.
Oh,
Well,
yeah.
yeah, I mean,
we're gonna get to her.
Yeah.
when you start there, I mean, you're basically just trying to get notoriety. So like the people that came for other bands, they're gonna hear you, and like the next time maybe you're on a thing for tickets, they're gonna be like, oh, I'm gonna buy that because that band was good. So I mean, it's just trying to get your like sound out there.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
And the I don't want to just isolate and say, oh, this is why local bands get played, because there is a hardcore scene. There is, shows that are booked without ticket sales, and, if you come and support the bands, you will be, added to the bills. It's really like, a culture thing. Like, they're not just going to book you because whatever, like, they want to like, if you're good and you're obviously like, if they don't know you're from California or from, whatever, like they're obviously going to book you if they don't know you. But as far as like the local type of like respect, like if you give respect, you're going to get,
you're going to get,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So if you're a part of that scene, like if you just try to like, I know people in the past that used to never go to anyone else's shows at all. And they would only come to their own shows. Well, people started catching wind of that, and the more that people would catch wind of that, they'd stop supporting you because they'd be like, "You literally don't." Like, that's just like a local type of thing.
Right.
Right. It's
support.
like, I mean, it's kind of like you want to build a community, like of like, and you should be supporting each other. It shouldn't be like a competition. You shouldn't only like,
I mean, there's one thing that this area, and I was like, I have been to everybody's show, and I mean everybody's show, from the random indie group that 5 people were standing in front of to the hardcore group, metal group, you name it. I have seen everybody's act for the most part. I probably have missed
a few here and
there. But I have not shown partiality throughout my whole
There's
life.
not a show that you wouldn't go to.
I've been to a lot of shows throughout. I've been doing this for 13 years.
Now, but do you think that has something to do with the fact that you're a musician yourself? Like, is it do you go to shows and find inspiration? Like, do you like?
So my upbringing, my mother was an artist that used to sing background for Lauryn Hill.
Okay.
She also worked with John Legend.
Nice.
I was just primarily raised around hip hop and R&B music, and I love hip hop and R&B music, but I am much, much more of a fan of rock. I mean, all types of it. Just is what it is.
I think it's just the era you grew up in.
Yeah, and also just my upbringing. Like the first like musical experience that I remember is The Doors. And that's when I realized,
like I like rock and roll.
And then Guns N' Roses, forget about it. And then once I found out about them, they were done. And then like the band that got me to actually like play music was Alice in Chains.
Okay.
Yes, that band was like pretty much the like ceiling deal for I was like, okay, I want to do that.
And how old do you think you were at this time? Like when you're hearing Alice in Chains?
I bought, that was the first CD, their greatest hit CD, Get Born Again. I bought that when I was 12 years old, I believe.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
I used to record cassette tapes on the radio 97.9X before that.
I used to
just
do
keep
that too,
like bags of cassette tapes.
I would do the same.
But I didn't do Alice in Chains though.
No. Yeah, it was random story. The Rooster, it was the weirdest situation. I was constantly trying to record this song, and it never worked out.
I remember never play back.
I remember I had this one. I was like, okay, I finally got it. I opened up the cassette tape players, no tape in it. Now I hit record, waited. I was like, I got this song.
And so you were just waiting for it to play the song, and like just couldn't get it.
So that's why I was just like, you know what? I'm just buying their CDs. So I don't have to deal with this anymore.
Isn't that crazy to
Support
think
the
about?
music, right?
Isn't that crazy to think about now, though? Like what we can do now and what kids can do now if they want to listen to music. But now we're like, we got to wait for it to play
go
on
on
the radio.
TikTok.
Yeah,
Anything, whatever. Spotify.
I mean, I remember the
YouTube.
first when I bought the Marshall Mathers LP in a cassette form. Like,
In a cassette?
Yeah, like
Nice. Nice. I don't think I ever bought cassettes except for when I was like older, but I always had like my mom's like Metallica, Rock Lightning cassettes.
That was the first cassette I ever bought, and then the first CD I ever bought, I think, was what's the name of Puff Daddy and the Family.
Nice.
No Way Out. Yeah,
Nice.
like
Nice.
it's just
Really sick.
yeah, it was just
Do you
crazy.
remember what your first rock album was? Limp Bizkit.
No, maybe it might have been a Korn album.
Korn? Okay.
Yeah, because when I was in middle school, I had this like friend, like it was me and this other kid. We would just vibe, and he's the one who got me into like Korn, Limp Bizkit, and all of them and stuff like that. And I think I might have bought a Korn album then.
Okay.
But that was right around like the Family Matters or what
Family or wait, whoa.
What's the name of the tour?
The Family Matters tour?
Yeah.
What tour? For what?
For Korn. It had Korn.
Back in the day?
Limp Bizkit, yeah.
I don't know.
No?
That's a long time ago, dude.
You might not have been alive.
I mean, I was definitely alive. I mean, you only got 5 years on me.
Yeah, I know. All right, you were alive, but
Yeah.
you were probably still shitting your pants.
Yeah,
I'm still shitting my
You're
pants.
30 now, right?
31.
31.
Yeah,
Yeah,
31.
we're in our 30s now.
Yeah,
Think about that.
I know. I don't want to. I don't want to because I could literally picture you walking through the halls of school with all the papers in your notebook of just lyrics. Oh, did you listen to Shane's episode at all?
I honestly only
Family
listened to a part
Values
of it.
tour.
I listened to a part of it. When I saw it, I the internet and stuff is like I will zone in on certain things and other things I will like clip in for 30 seconds and then just be like, all right, I saw it.
Yeah.
And then
No, I basically talked about because I was like kind of talking.
That does not help our algorithm.
listen, I know I'm the worst. When people are like, yo, check this music out, I'll be like, yeah, I'm gonna check it out. A month later, did you check that song out?
No.
Like literally like the biggest perpetrator of that.
Dude, I have like my same shit I always go to, and I don't really go too far from there.
Yeah, I have a bad habit of just like not supporting anybody.
Even though he loves them,
Like
he won't
I mean,
subscribe, he
there's
won't
like every new YouTube video that like someone drops, like I'll watch it, but I'll never subscribe to their channel.
Oh my
And
gosh.
it's just a button. Like it doesn't.
Yeah.
I don't have to pay or anything. And I just don't.
But
do
it's
it.
not like you do it purposely. It's
I
just
don't do
like
it.
you just don't do it.
But I've been doing better because
Okay,
I've
that's
been
good.
subscribing to
That's
things.
Yeah.
What did you say you were?
Oh, so yeah, I was talking to Shane about because like Shane didn't really. You guys kind of met a little later on. And I was telling him like about like back in school, like the days you'd have a guitar like at least once a week with you, and like I remember it might have even been Northeast where it was like I remember you walking around, you had like notebooks and it was just papers. Like you could basically like they'd be like a trail of loose papers that would fall out of your notebook and it'd just be lyrics. Just be pages and pages of just lyrics.
Yeah, I did not play an instrument like first. Like I did like mess around with the drums like when I was like 7, and then I messed around with a guitar when I was like 12. But like I originally just wanted to sing on stage and write lyrics and play. So I was just writing, just to write it.
Just to write.
I remember when I was in a band called Eating at Society. I was like, dude, my vocalist is terrible. I'm like, can you help me write lyrics? And you just handed me something. I remember you just handed me something. Really? Yeah, you're like, yo, you can use this one. I'm like, dude, sweet. I was fired up,
bro.
I was fired up.
That's sick.
Yeah.
I still don't. We were talking to Shane about this. I still don't understand how like bands make make music.
In what way? Like get into it. Like what's the question?
I told you
glad
like
you're on this.
so like when I told him when I was like teenager age, like I rapped. Like, and we would just you'd find a beat and you'd rap over it. Like, you'd write lyrics to it and
You
rap
spit
over it.
hard.
Right. Like, it's
He's a
not
true MC,
like to me,
100%.
like it was like, that's all it was. I don't understand how people can write music to like lyrics.
So
or,
lyrics to like instrumentals.
Yeah. Like, I just don't understand. Like, well, like
He's the
you
man
can
to tell you.
You can write lyrics. Like, I can write lyrics all day
Yeah.
long, but I can't process how like someone comes up with like a drum,
like a
drum-
melody,
yeah, all that stuff.
So, yeah, I'm glad you're touching on this. So, one of the things for Moral Code that I have been more now than I was in the past, but I've always kind of been a musical producer. The way my mind works in music and like how I construct like songs, I actually do it very strategically.
Okay.
Music apparently, correct me if I'm wrong, is on the same side of the brain that science is on. That's what I.
I'm not the
You're
one to
asking
correct
the
you.
wrong-
I'm not, I can't
You're
correct you.
asking the wrong crew
for
here.
the fact checkers out there, fact check me. The same side of the brain that you use to like comprehend science and all your like, you would think like robotics. Music's
Okay.
on that same side, and it makes sense because music is sound waves and frequency, and you can measure it. You can actually use it as a weapon too if you charge it up to a certain frequency. So,
Talking about music?
yeah,
Yep.
Okay.
like sounds. Like you can actually you can take drugs doing music, too, or listening to music.
Right,
There's
right.
certain frequencies you can get high to. So, the way that my mind works, and I just truly believe it's a gift from God. Like I hear the frequency, and I can immediately start like putting it together because it's like building blocks. Like the way that music's even written is like very like frame by frame, like this bar connects to this bar, creates this sequence, creates that sequence. And once you start like looking at the fretboard, like tablet, I'm glad that I learned tablature before actually using notes, because this helped me write music even, you know, faster.
Okay.
Was looking at everything from like ones and zeros perspective. It's like, okay, on the 4th beat, my finger has to be on the 6th fret. And it's not even really about timing anymore. It's about like the structure of the song. So the way that I, you know, personally write music, like first is I will write this music first and then I'll write the lyrics second. It used to be backwards back in the day, but now that I can
You used to do lyrics first, then
well, now I can play the drums, which is a recent thing that I taught myself in the last 3 years. And actually
that helps a lot, right?
Yeah. The new so we have an EP that we're working on right now. Not that EP, but there is a full length at the end of this year that we'll be releasing it.
You heard it here first.
Yes, I produced and wrote all of the drums that you will be hearing on that record. I also sat in the studio for 80 hours for that record, and pretty much all the music that you're hearing, I did not write all of it, but I musically produced it and put it all together and structured it out. Wrote my own lyrics, wrote my own bass parts. So basically I was just sitting in a studio with a guy for 2 weeks, and it was like 11-hour days every day.
Is that hard for like your drummer? Is that hard for him to?
So we haven't had a legitimate like
Steady
drummer.
Steady drummer? Okay.
Yeah, in pretty much the whole history of the band, to be honest with you.
All
and we just got somebody who I really like. His name is Reef, and somebody who I've been looking at in the scene for a while and kind of been like, when it comes time, I want to work with this guy. He is now the new official drummer. There's actually going to be pictures that we start posting of the new lineup. And I love Reef, and I want him to be in the band for as long as he wants to be, because he is exactly what I'm looking for. He plays exactly the types of like style and beats I want to hear.
Yeah, that's what I was like getting at, because like if you sat there and wrote the drums for a certain song, and then like I would imagine like drummers have a style that they're like more like used to, and like I'm sure he could follow what you wrote, but I'm sure he'd like have like his own like opinions.
Yeah,
or,
and
like,
there was a guy, I just want to put, some respect on his name. There's a guy named Jacob who was our longest tenoring drummer in Moral Code.
Okay.
And before I knew how to play the drums, I would look at him and really like admire his skill and stuff.
Okay.
And the Stop the World EP, the song Lotus, and the song, hold on, there's one more, Settle.
Okay.
The song Lotus and the song Settle, he wrote those on drums. Now he had left Moral Code while after those songs came out. I actually, not to toot my own horn, I just remembered what he played. I just downloaded it, and I was like, okay, this is.
So it was kind of like it was kind of like a song that you played but never actually recorded.
Yeah, we did it in the practice room,
right? Yeah,
and I was just able to replicate and
because you remembered what it was.
And
that's just how my mind works. Like I said, like my mind works like a database, and I just install these parts, and they're not like. It's not like it's really hard to jam with people. Like I'll be honest, like I haven't actually like sat down and just played music with somebody in a long time.
I got you.
Because I
like
just
unstructured, just jam.
Yeah, like I can do it, but I can't take it seriously.
I got you.
Like I really can't, because to me it's like I would tell my bandmates, I'm like, hey, just go write a song by yourself. Like I would much rather my drummer just go by himself, write a song, we all learn it, we all play it, then we work together on it. I just feel like music just comes out not better, but now in this day and age, I just don't feel like there's that like group camaraderie anymore. Like you could have it,
right?
It's not like Led Zeppelin's and the Who and all those bands jamming anymore.
So like say your drummer went and wrote a song and brought it back to you. Would you like keep like learn it the way it is, or would you like put an input towards it, or would you?
I just kind of just add my little, just make it better. I don't want to change what the song is.
Not so much change, but like try to give him like, well, why don't you try this instead of that kind of stuff? Yeah. So you will make like adjustments that would like make the sound better.
What's really cool that you're mentioning this, my guitar player just wrote most of all the music on this new EP that we're going to come out with. I only wrote the lyrics and my vocals, and I didn't adjust almost anything to this. There was only one song I remixed. It's going to be called Hammer and Nail on the record, but everything else, completely what he did, stayed exactly the same.
Yeah,
that was like, yep, this is good.
For
yep, perfect, verbatim everything he put down. Yeah, so like. And that was something that I, grew into. I know when me.
I was going to say, is that hard for you?
Yeah, well, when me and Shane were in a band, my old metalcore band, I was Hitler.
Picky, yeah.
Oh, yeah. It was, I was very, very hard to deal with. Yeah. Absolutely, definitely.
You're going to do what I want. Yeah.
But the thing is too, though, when we're young, like even now, like music, and especially your style of music, is such a part of your identity. That like you want it to be a certain way.
Everybody wants to be Bono,
Well, Shane's first show was Warped Tour.
Oh, was it? That's insane. That's insane.
So that's why I felt that way.
Right,
I was like, your first show, literally, we're playing at the same time as Attack, and we got 300 plus people in front of us. That video is still online.
Oh, I watched 2011,
one last time.
I remember that shit. That shit was sick.
So that's why I felt that way.
I remember the stage was the one going up the hill towards main stage.
Yep.
Yeah, I remember that.
So that was
I also
fun.
got
But now
kicked to the face.
Yeah, actually, fun fact: Moral Code's Hindsight EP, Blue Noise EP, and Stop the World EP. I had little to nothing to do with the actual like sounds that were created.
Okay.
I only just
did vocals and stuff.
Vocals, my bass part, and like produced it. Like made sure everything sounded like in timing. Like if this part needed just a little cha-ching instead of a ching.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
I got you.
But Jamin Luther, who was the other original member of Moral Code, he wrote almost everything we did.
Okay.
Up until this last EP that just came out last year with ReZero on it. I did that all by myself.
Okay.
Yeah. And I even recorded like the demos on a GarageBand track list and sent it to my producer, and he just remixed it and remastered it. So yeah.
Nice. Do you think? So you're putting out EPs, like you have one coming out, you have one like in the making. Do you think like doing that style is like worth it anymore? Like, cause I feel like everyone bigger is just like single. So, and then they'll release an album of those singles like later down the line. But
so we've never released an album. They've all been EPs, but this full length specifically, that's why we're waiting to put it out towards the end of the year. Is it worth it? I mean, now this is where things get funny. We did this in 2019.
Okay.
And the only reason why it's still not released is because one, the pandemic happened, and that just destroyed everything for the past, like at least until 2022. There was virtually no real like tour opportunity to take advantage of.
Do you think you need that backing of like touring? Like, do you think
if you're gonna drop a full length?
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, you need that
to this
because I mean, like, you think like everyone's sitting at home during COVID, like perfect time for them to listen to a new record.
To be perfectly honest with you, shows are popping right now. Because people have been
sucked inside. Yeah.
So I was seeing clips of shows that were happening in California with this band called Drain. They were like a hardcore band, and it looked literally like just a bunch of ants like crawling on each other.
That's
like,
how,
you know
that's
what I mean?
Crazy it was?
Yeah, and there's a lot more shows like that, happening because people are, resurging and want to get back into it. So now it's just a perfect time to finally like release it, because the EPs, I mean, let's just be, real here. Playing shows always helps.
Yeah.
Playing as many shows as you can always helps. The more people you're connecting with, the more people you're playing in front of, the more times that follow button's going to get hit, the more times that merch is going to get bought, the more times that
unless they're pieces of shit like me and you, and don't follow anybody, Yeah, we'll never check it out.
Exactly. So, but like it really, really, really matters when you drop a full length, because it's like you spent all that money, you spent all that time for what? It's like you're taking a huge risk even. Putting all that type of content out, because, most people's attention is really only,
just gone.
Especially for a band, like us that isn't, mainstream.
Now, what's an EP for you? Is like 6 songs?
Yeah, I mean, we have a 9-song EP,
okay,
which was Blue Noise. I don't know. We just were like, whatever.
Just send it.
But yeah, 6 songs.
6 songs.
6 songs or less. Yes, 4 to 6 songs really is like the prime spot. This new EP we're coming out with only has 5 songs.
Okay.
Yeah, but the full length has 10, so it's not like it's really that crazy long either.
No.
People be dropping hella songs on albums.
But again, who are those people? People who can drop that music because they already have a fan base too. I mean, you could drop it.
And I really like think about like stuff like that. Like if you look at like certain bands, like we'll take Falling in Reverse, where they'll sit there and take 6 months to like, or 6 months to a year, and they'll drop one song. Like they'll work on one song and get it as like dialed in as I guess as possible, and they'll release it or whatever. But
I mean,
like,
you do
you're
realize
doing
how
it.
big Falling in Reverse is
I
now,
do,
though, right?
but I'm saying it's
Like-
one song.
Yeah, that's all they need.
Right. That's all they need. Right.
Yeah.
But at that same time, like you're dropping a whole album in a year. You know what I mean? Like, are they lacking creativity or are they just like,
I mean, they're also spending millions on that one
I don't
song.
give a shit.
Like the production in the video.
They've also
is-
been slow recently, like Moral Code has been.
No,
with,
I don't mean
music.
but I'm saying like they could spend millions.
Mm-hmm.
He could spend whatever he spends. That song that he puts out, that album that he put out could be better than Falling in Reverse.
Yeah.
But who's gonna hear
Right.
us?
Yeah. There's
Someone.
so much content and music and everything out there. You know how hard it is to get your stuff in front of somebody?
Yeah, I just
Like we
I
know
mean,
with this
I know, yeah.
podcast, you know
But
what I
I'm
mean?
just like I'm just curious why they like will take so long on just one song when they could release an album. I feel like they could creatively.
But they are releasing an album, but they're just doing it in 5 years.
Yeah, fucking great. 5 years.
Now, with that same, take of just like, well, who's going to hear it? Actually, there's a paradox. Well, that's why you do release as much content as you do. So
Right,
people
so you
can
have
hear it,
more opportunities,
And
yeah.
we haven't been releasing as much content as I would like, just
Mm-hmm.
because of just many, changing
Yeah.
members
Life. And
and,
life.
like I said, life
Yeah.
and, the pandemic just coming off. Of
Is it
so.
hard to keep obviously you're having members in and out. Is it hard to keep that same sound that you're going for?
Well, this band originally started with me and Jamin.
Mm-hmm.
And I believe, because we're still a part of it, we will always have that sound. And
yeah.
there's like not that Moral Code is like original to the point where we have a sound we know it's just like we have a formula that we like to follow. We have a certain sound that we prefer to sound like, and we just keep following that and readjusting it. And
I guess like the only time that would like really come into play is if like the vocalist left.
Right.
Yeah, now this
Which
new
is-
EP that's gonna come out, which I need to find a name for it. We still don't have a name for it, but it will sound different than all of the other prior releases just by virtue of the guitar player doing it and me not making any edits.
Right,
So
okay.
there will be a pretty different EP that Moral Code's coming out with, but it will still have the songs that sound like what Moral Code's always been doing.
No, for sure.
know what I
Because
mean?
even listen to like all your EPs that you have released, I can always tell like that sounds like Kenny's guitar playing. Like just like the open chords, the chords, like the chord structure. You always had that same kind of sound. And I definitely wanted to get into like what Moral Code was about. And I guess we'll do that now and then we'll go back. But
for sure.
But I wanted to know like what was your like original like thinking behind the sound of Moral Code? Like what was like when you and Jamin, if you guys were starting it, like what was your like plan?
Well, our plan was it to be a punk band.
Oh, like straight up punk?
Just straight up punk.
Okay.
And that's where Billy the Kid was. That was like our attempt at like, doing that.
There's obviously like got to be like bands that you were like inspired by like to make like that you wanted that like kind of get that sound.
Well, the punk bands that, got me into, even the music I listen to now is like The Clash and like the Ramones.
Okay.
And I really, really love Rancid. They're like definitely one of the top bands for me. But when we started out, we were like just saying, oh yeah, we just want to do a punk band. And then actually how it really all started, Jamin was jamming with two other musicians. And I was asked to come play bass just to hang out, whatever. And they were going to pay me with beer. So cool. That's what I did. So I was talking with Jamin about this punk band while we never did this punk band, but here I am in front of these musicians playing bass, and now we're in this band.
Yeah. same members from that time?
No.
Okay.
So
just you and Jamin?
Yeah.
Or
Just me and Jamin. So now these two other people that they were jamming with, they were writing their own songs, whatever. And I just, they knew me from, the local scene.
Yeah.
So they knew that, I could also write and stuff. So I had, some edits, but that's what Hindsight was. The first EP was with these original two members. And, like all that music that they wrote, like, again, I only wrote my bass part and I sang on it. I really had little to do with how the songs were written. It was more so the producing. Like I made sure like everything made sense and sounded clean and sounded in transition and stuff. You know what I mean? So, but yeah, originally this band was just supposed to be a punk band where we just had fun with, and then it really kind of just transformed into almost this like never ending like struggle to like make it something.
Okay.
There's
hear
been
a lot of different.
There's been many times this band should have been over. The one tour that we did, pretty much like the back-breaking tour that me and him, like that changed both of our lives. It was, I believe, in 2018.
Okay.
And we were on this tour with this band called Common Weather.
Okay.
And originally, I guess there was like some miscommunication with like our booking agent at the time. And I think, you know, we had remembered telling him that we didn't want to play or we weren't sure about playing it. And then all of a sudden it's booked. And at the time, you know, me and Jane were like, we're not going to back out of this. Like,
Right.
we're going to play anything. Like we were hungry to do anything. So we were like, whatever, like we'll just let it go. So we start, you know, this tour starts in Idaho.
Okay.
I don't know why, but we were in Ohio. Maybe my sense of direction's terrible. So we were in Ohio. Tire blows. We're in literally the middle of nowhere. Like we're next to a cornfield.
Whew.
Thank God there was some type of mechanic a mile or two down the road. Our buddy Edward, Edward Roach, who's been a good friend of the band, who's also played in it, you know, in and out, helped out the band a bunch of times. He had money, so he helped us out with the tire. And we were able to get, you know, fixed back on the road. So we get to the show in Idaho, and I'm in the car, right, just being like, I'm going to run the pockets out any promoter that's going to try to not give us the money we had. And they're like, what if it's an old lady or whatever? I'm like, I don't care.
Yeah.
Like, we're getting our money, whatever. We get to this show. Almost nobody is there. It gets time to us to get paid. This lady literally looks at us and like, we don't have anything for you. And I don't know, like, you didn't go to Prescott, did you?
No.
This woman literally looks like my second grade teacher, Miss Carol. Like, I could not even try to have a problem with her. Like, she just looked like your nicest old lunch lady. So I was just like, well, we don't have any money right now.
So was your band like, what happened to, you didn't care what?
Thank God that Common Weather was really nice and they gave us their guarantee, which was $40, by the way.
Right. Yeah.
So you're paying them $40.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, okay, like, I mean, paying us nothing. All right, that's definitely disrespectful, but you're only paying them
Dude,
$40.
that doesn't even fill up the van.
They're from Chicago. Like, my goodness.
Yeah.
So that was just the start of the tour. And we were completely like, I don't want to say in over our heads, but we said yes to anything. And we did not keep track of any kind of checks and balances when it came to these tours. We just said, yes, we're going to do it.
Right.
We'll figure it out as it comes. Well, this whole tour did not have any types of like, you know, organization when it came to guarantees versus door deals. I mean, we're in Kentucky and we're getting paid $40.
Yeah.
Like, we're from Scranton, Pennsylvania, and you literally have the brass tacks to hand us $40 and think that that's okay. And then everybody else is like, yeah, that's okay too. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it was just like
Everyone else as in like the band members or every other band on the tour?
well, both of us were dealing with problems, actually. Both of us were just like, what is this? You know what I mean?
Right.
It just was a debacle, to be honest with you.
Right.
And we lost a lot of money on that tour. My buddy Jamin was already losing money on other, you know, ventures. And yeah, just after a full week of basically getting paid $40 a night when we're in the Midwest of the country.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're going to have to use all our money and whatever. I'm using Dunkin' Donuts money. You know, I've been working at Dunkin' Donuts for.
You still there?
Yeah, it's my third rehire.
Nice,
I came during the pandemic because they were paying everyone more than people on forklifts. So I was like, all right, that pandemic pay. But you know, after all those days, now, you know, at the end of the tour, we had one of our best shows ever, which was at the Fire. We played with this metal band called I Am, and it was this fest called Fam Fest, and that was one of my favorite moments. But unfortunately, after that tour, not too long after, my buddy Jamin was like, hey, I am in a really, really bad place in life, and I got to move to California.
No way.
Yep. So he moved.
Still there?
Yep. He's working for NASA right now.
That's wild. Okay, yeah, it's a good reason to move to California.
Well, he wasn't. I don't think he was originally working for NASA when he first moved. I think he was working for that nerd job. What is it? Geek Squad.
Geek
there
Squad?
we go.
Okay.
Yeah. He was like a Geek Squad guy for a little
Some
bit.
friend
That's
you
not
are.
that
Nerd job.
That's not a lot of money.
Well, maybe in California it is.
No, it's still just like a Best Buy sub company. So
Yeah.
it's really
Yeah, well, he was doing like, you know, multiple little like jobs like that. And then when he scored NASA, because he's like a genius coder. I mean, the man is big into computers, very smart when it comes to computers. He actually literally made an AI bot for our fantasy football league.
That's insane. That's insane.
Yeah. So now, mind you, again, like you know, obviously at the time, like you're devastated, but you understand why he made the move. I mean, at the time, like I said, Moral Code has always been a band where we have done basically most of the bulk on our own.
Okay.
We've rarely ever gotten any kind of like, you know, financial backing, and we do have friends that have helped and put us on shows, and very thankful for that. But, you know, I don't ever ask for handouts. I don't really hit anybody up for shows like that. I am not into licking boots, and I've been doing this for 13 years, and I feel like, you know, if the music speaks for itself, it should speak for itself. I'm not going to try to shove it down people's throats. Obviously, I'm going to promote, like, you know, a smart person would their own products, but I am like I have just, I guess, enough pride to just not be cringe about it. Like, it's like, if you like the music, you like it. If you don't, that's cool. Other people will. I'm not worried about it, but, you know, it would be nice, and we are working on having like a solid like team of people to, you know, because right now it's completely all DIY. We've been DIY for years. After that, we stopped working pretty much with everybody and just has been.
So you're getting ourselves. Like a team of people, like someone to do promotions. Like,
which is my mates now, my new bandmates, because the music is already written. So the EP that we just did, that was like our, you know, collective time to like put our, you know, ideas together. But, you know, they already know coming in that this band's established with a history, and we had this full length recorded before they even got involved. So they know that this is getting released. They know that, you know, all that stuff. But again, they are now the band, you know what I mean? And before it was like we had members that we were paying and we had members that we were half on. Like, no, like now I have people who I can look to and be like, okay, these are actually my friends. These are actually people who care about what I'm doing. And these are actually people who want to push this forward and make it happen all collectively. You know what I mean? We're all dealing with our own struggles and stuff like that. It's not easy, but you know, I really do feel like there's like more of a solid team around us than it was back then, if that makes sense.
Yeah,
you know
no, for sure. So are you trying to tell me that like you not trying to push or, you know, push or ask for handouts? Is that your moral code? Is that what you live by?
I mean, that is the punk rock way.
Yeah. It's my credo.
He lives by the moral code, you know?
I mean,
no regrets.
Joe Strummer has been, you know, one of my hugest inspirations and, you know, people I've looked up to, you know, and that whole, you know, punk mentality has been instilled in me, and I can't get it out. Sure. You know,
where,
as cliched and cheesy as it is.
Where did the name come from?
Okay, that name I'm pretty sure was made by Jamin's twin brother.
Okay.
Now I could be completely wrong, but I did not come up with that.
Okay.
Name. Yeah, and that was just a random name.
Yeah.
That was a very random name. It was
most bands like names are.
We were
pretty
trying
random.
to call ourselves Southpaw. That was the first name.
Sounds like a crazy hardcore band for sure. Like,
and then we found out there was like another Southpaw, so we just
it's a shitty Jake Gyllenhaal movie.
Why you gotta be like that?
I'm saying it is.
Didn't Eminem do a song in that?
Yes,
movie?
he did. He did a song for the movie. Yeah.
But yeah, just to finish it up. So then after, you know, Jamin moved and stuff, just to like, you know, because it's a long-winded answer. What moral code stands for. It really, honestly, I don't want to say it doesn't stand for anything, because it definitely does. It's more so of like me and Jamin's unrelentingness to give up our dreams, basically. Like, moral code is like, when we wrote these songs, like the original songs, we did not care at all about the outside world. I mean, we literally only know hardcore and metalcore bands. Like, we grew up in that scene. So when we play this music, like, you know, at first, and definitely like people are just like, what? You know what I mean? Like, they definitely got into it. We definitely have a following, but like, we wanted to make a sound that just, you know, we liked personally, and that we could listen back to and other people can listen back to. And we always, you know, look at, you know, bands like Trapped Under Ice, bands like, you know, Terror, bands like, you know, Have Heart, and all these bands that you could see in their fans when they sing these lyrics back to them. They're passionate. Like, there's nothing to me better than a big gang pileup of people feeling these lines that you sat in your room alone wanting to kill yourself to. But now all these people are here and they're singing it, and now you want to live now. You know what I mean? That's the great, you know, beauty of
that's what the fans are. They're in their rooms listening to those lyrics that you wrote when you were thinking those same thoughts, that they're thinking those same thoughts. And that's why it feels like my hair will stand up right now. That's why I'm so in love with music, because when someone says something, like a band says something that resonates with me, dude, it means a whole lot. It just, you tattoo it on you. It means everything, you know, you live by it, you know? I just saw Fit for King is one of my favorite bands. we just saw them in Philly a couple weeks ago for my birthday, and dude, they say so many things that like resonate with my life, like things that happen in my life that, dude, it just hits me. You know what I mean? It just, and like that feeling when you hear those, and like for me, like heavy music, like breakdowns, that's like just what I grew up on and what I love. So when you say something meaningful and then you hit it with a fucking breakdown, like it just I'm not kidding, dude. Like it just hits, and I'm just like, it stands the hair up. And it just means everything, you know.
Well, I mean,
you feel like you've been through the same thing with those people, you know, as that you've been through.
Yeah, and I definitely want to give a big shout out to my guitar player, Joshua Raber, because actually without him, this band definitely wouldn't be going on, because he was in my DMs constantly, just like, yo, let's do Moral Code. Yo, let's do Moral Code.
Like after it was already created and like you guys kind of backed off a little bit?
This was like during like the downtime where I was considering just trashing it. You know what I mean? Because once, you know, the pandemic was there, we didn't do anything. So there was that dormant time where I was like, is this even like what I want to do anymore? Like not music, but this particular band and project. And
well, it's not easy, man. You have to love it. Like you have to love it.
Yeah.
And not care about the money, because there's not going to be any for a while. You got to honestly bleed it, because it's blood, sweat, and tears out there traveling, touring. You got to love it, because it's not going to be it's not going to be something you're going to do and get immediate just payback on. You got to love it, and people will hopefully see how much you love it and then support you. And it's still a grind to the top. Like it's so during the One Last Time era,
just to put in perspective what that grind is, I was paying for a half a double home that I was walking back and forth to 3-4 miles to work. Also playing all those shows you remember One Last Time, doing that all on Dunkin' Donuts money.
That's insane.
All of it.
That's
all of
insane.
it on Dunkin' Donuts money. And I'm telling you, at that time, I didn't, like, my mom was kind of on the down from, like, you know, post being on the road and stuff and not doing that anymore. So
so you had no backup. That was just, dude, that's impressive, because that's not a lot of money. That's insane.
People tip Dunkin' a lot.
No, dude, you don't even pay for someone behind you when they pay for it. When the person
I
in front of you
don't, but
pays
that's
for you.
different.
yeah, and like I said, I did it because, again, I was motivated. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because
like,
I mean, if you're
it's
gonna,
who you are.
if you're gonna find a way, right? You know what I mean? Like you're not gonna give up on something that you want enough.
Yeah. Now, when I was 17 and 18, the flexibility to do, you know, shows were a lot more, obviously, because you're not paying the bills that you were paying, but you know, still being able to maintain the consistency of playing shows while you are. And then there was a stint of time where I wasn't, but like once Moral Code picked up, I mean, again, some of that, dude, when I did the full length, I was working at a coffee shop called Cafe West, and I was getting paid $5 an hour because I was just helping out my friend.
And what wasn't it like tips too, though?
Yeah, it was tips too, but the tips weren't crazy. And I was trying to work for a guy in a glass company. I was trying to learn how to put windshields into cars.
Okay, like Safelite?
Yeah, like a lot of the windowsills over there, like put in the window frames and smash out the putty in the corners. Like, you know, I have been, you know, scraping at the grounds for
to make it work.
A long time.
Yeah, and making the little and the crumbs be huge pieces of bread. So
that's insane. Yeah. I want to take it back a little bit, and then we won't really stay on this topic too long.
No,
but I want to take it back. Like, so you said that, you know, around 12 years old, you started getting into guitar and instruments and stuff like that. So like going through school, like when was it like, yo, this is, I want to do this, and I want to create a band or make a band?
So I had a band when I was in the 7th grade.
Okay.
And it was called Velocity X.
Was it Mr. Fruit's band class?
No.
Were you in that band class?
I'm going to name drop right now.
Okay, here we go.
Vaughn Adams and Matt Anneman.
Okay. Wait, was it General Zoroff?
It was not, no.
Or Trophy of Your Anatomy?
No, it was before that.
Okay.
It was before that.
That's insane.
But yeah.
Is that Michael's brother?
We had two band practices.
Yeah. Dude, Matt's actually a really good
Matt was an amazing
he's really good
guitar player.
Yeah. He shreds.
Yes, he does. Yeah. So
that's wild, though.
Yeah, right?
What were you guitar?
No, I was just vocals.
What was Vaughn doing?
Anneman was guitar. Vaughn, I believe, was bass, and we were looking for a drummer.
Okay.
Yeah, we were looking for
everyone's always looking for a drummer.
Always, yeah.
Yeah.
Always. No, that's insane.
What is it with drummers? They just don't stick around.
But the first like actual band experience honestly was One Last Time. That was the first time I played with a live drummer playing original music was with Jamie Suter.
Okay.
So that was, you know.
Did you ever have like a cover phase where you like played a lot of covers?
Man.
See, that's his life, dude. He played Green Day for our graduation.
Fun.
Oh, you
fact.
told me that, right?
I never did like the cover band world, but when I was younger, yes, I played a lot of covers. I was actually involved with the cover band with a manager and everything, booking agent, and we had our practice, everything, and I ended up just quitting it.
Really?
I just couldn't do it.
Yeah.
You just wanted to play originals?
Literally can't do it anymore. I can't play covers. So I can play a cover like, we have a cover. We did a Police Message in the Bottle cover, but to actually sit on stage and like do that, like I just personally can't, because I just, call it whatever it is, arrogance, whatever. I believe that the abilities that, God has gifted me with is enough where I can push myself. It's not that I won't do that.
No, but it's almost like a waste of the time you have. It's a waste of the
I would
time you
much
have.
rather play to 15 people my original music and they're all into it and follow it than 300 people at a bar paying me
Yeah,
to
it makes sense. 100%.
play, whatever.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I can't even think.
Green
of any
Day.
song. Yeah. I mean,
Blink-182 songs.
I just, again, there's people that make their living off that. My mother did.
Yeah.
My mother paid the bills doing that. So I am in no way, shape, or form, smashing on anyone.
Putting
that
it
does
down,
that.
yeah.
I
No,
just
but
know
it's just
for
not for
me
you.
personally, I write a lot of music and I would, much rather experience the most organic experience with music than,
just to cover other people's stuff.
and just to make money. You know what I mean? I could just work a job.
Yeah.
I'd rather just clock in and just take a pitchfork and smash some concrete.
Less stressful.
I'll make money that way.
Yeah. Dude, one of the biggest memories I have of high school anyways is when you would bring your acoustic guitar and play The Crimson by Atreyu. Oh my. Dude, I remember that. Like it's embedded in my brain. It's embedded.
Oh my gosh. That was the first, dude, that, what is it? Wait, what grade was that?
Probably like 9th or 10th.
Yeah, it was 9th grade.
Yeah.
That's when I don't know if you remember our this old high school buddy, Derek Kaiser.
Yeah, of course.
He introduced me to Kill Switch Engage. I never heard of that band one time before. I didn't even hear a metal band like that before one time. And I heard My Last Serenade and my life was changed. I mean, come on.
Such a good song.
I mean, forever.
Who did it better?
Album is just
Who did it better,
slamming.
Jesse or
Oh man,
what's his name, Harold?
this is scary. I'm on camera now. My opinions are going to be hurt.
No.
I'm
We have to back this up. We
Bigger
have to back this
Jesse
up.
fan than Howard.
Really?
This is what it is. Yes.
Okay. No, I respect it. I respect
Now
it.
let's be real here.
Okay.
The only reason why I am is because I'm like the type where I am very cults like following to the music I like.
Okay.
Alive or Just Breathing, pound for pound, is their best album in my opinion.
Okay.
Now,
Is that more nostalgia reason?
if I'm gonna make if I'm gonna make money, The End of Heartache
Right.
and As Daylight Dies clearly is their best album.
Yeah.
I mean, you know what I mean? If we're just talking from pure marketability, you can't even argue about that. But for me personally, Alive or Just Breathing is like the best demonstration of like metalcore I think I've ever heard.
Yeah,
honestly.
I mean,
like
it's just an era.
It's just so good from start to finish. Every second of that album I could listen to over.
Even
and
live,
over
it was
and
so
over
good
again.
live.
I got to see them in Stroudsburg when Jesse returned back to the band.
Okay.
And oh my Lord, like they played my Element of One and I was just head walking on people. Like I was literally just standing on someone's shoulders and just trying to walk.
Just screaming.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. So
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I'm a Jesse fan. People are definitely gonna be like, oh,
I don't think there's a
course.
wrong answer though for that because they're both good. It's both so good.
Yeah. The Howard is definitely amazing. Just Jesse.
Did you hear their project, that Scion project with Jared Dines?
15 seconds of it.
Oh, really? Did you not like it? Did you not like it? Did you not like it?
15 seconds I listened to it.
Yeah, I was like,
No?
Yeah. It takes a lot for me to like, especially new things with members of old.
Yeah, for sure.
Now, Velvet Revolver is one of the few times where two prior bands I'm like absolutely in love with made a baby and I'm into it.
Okay.
You know what I mean? I was like, okay, this is sick.
They're more of a mainstream band. What bands? It's not the Guns N' Roses.
I'm just saying,
right?
like, I'm just giving you an example of members who were a part of a big act who decided to go do something
Right, and
different.
then
I
you're
usually
here
don't
for it.
follow anyone's new acts.
gotcha,
You know what I mean? Unless I'm like really into it. Like when Aaron Gillespie did the Almost, I was into that.
Okay.
Got Ned doing Glitter from Title Fight. I am into that music, but I'd much rather listen to Title Fight, and I'd much rather listen to Under.
No, for sure.
If that, that kind of comparison.
No, for sure. I get it. All right, so moving forward a little bit more. So what grade were you in when you started One Last Time?
I was a senior in high school.
That was that late in high school?
Yeah. Okay. I came back from New York. I used to live in Long Island. And I actually like left my dad's house that year prior because I was an only child and sheltered for the first 15 years of my life.
Okay.
Yeah, and I just lived with my dad. So once I left his house and moved with my mom, she was in Brooklyn, New York. She was on the road with John Legend. There was an opportunity to move in with my aunt and uncle to go to like. Originally, I was trying to go to a public school there to be a part of the VH1 Save the Music Foundation. If you remember when that was around.
Yeah. That's showing your age.
Yeah, my bad.
What's VH1?
What's VH1? and what's VH1 Save the Music?
Yeah.
What's a top 10 countdown? Top 20 countdown? I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh my goodness. So, but I ended up going to a private school, whatever. And actually, without leaving and going and experiencing like that whole new change of scenery, I actually wouldn't even have been interested in doing like metal and stuff. I was still into like the pop punk and like rock stuff. But then when I came back from New York, I just had a whole new sense of like direction. Like my mom was done with the road.
Okay.
I was like salty just about life. Like everything at that point was just really like tumultuous. So
Okay.
yeah, I had a friend, Jerry Osborne, and then he got people that he knew. Mark Solomon was one of them. He was in a band called Aesthetic. It was an old school local band. And then we had this random dude, Justin, wherever he is at. If he's seeing this video, hi, dude. I miss you. I'm
Like,
just saying.
what's happening right
Justin was like this random like jock jacked dude who could shred on the guitar. Like you just would never guess that he could just blow, like just
Yeah.
and he's just like
rocking jorts. I know. I remember. He's rocking jorts and just shredding.
and he just literally looked like he lifted for his life. Like that's it. Like he just
That was
ate
his job.
protein powder. That's it.
Like from 6 months old.
I wanted him to start wearing Jersey Shore attire at shows. Like, I really did. Like I really did. He wouldn't do it.
No.
But I was like, please, like
yeah. That'd be hilarious.
yeah. And Jamie Suter, of course. Which shout out to him doing all the stuff he's doing with film and stuff like that.
Yeah. What's he been up to?
He's been doing like film directing.
Oh, really?
And stuff
Locally?
like that. No, I think
Where's he
he's
at?
doing it in like California and
Okay.
stuff like that. But yeah, like he's been killing it. So it's good to see him doing
Yeah, for
stuff.
sure.
Sweet, yeah.
But yeah, like what made me want to start that band, like I said, was just like I was ready to like make it physical now.
Okay.
And since then I really haven't left the path, and I've definitely retracted a little bit more. Obviously I'm 30, I have to worry about a lot more responsibilities, but ever since I joined One Last Time, you could say that the same energy has been there since I've been 17. It's just now transferred over to Moral Code.
Does it seem crazy that was that long ago?
13 years ago.
Yeah.
Time in that retrospect, because it's so, I guess like it's been such a very raw and real road from then to now. I don't really look at it from like a time basis. Like it doesn't feel that long, to be honest. It really doesn't. I couldn't lie to you and tell you it's, it feels like yesterday.
It does.
I was
It
17
really
and
does.
I was moshing,
Yeah, for sure.
For freaking American Me and all these other bands that don't
for
exist
sure.
anymore. But, it's definitely, when I look back on it, painful. I can't deny that.
Painful in what way?
Painful in just like all of the, I don't try to be negative about it, but there has been a lot of, setbacks and pitfalls and
In your
moments
road?
in my road. Yeah, yeah.
More
like in my
downs
road.
than ups.
So now it's cool, 5 months from now we did this video and then everything blew up, and then here I am looking back at myself saying this. But it's just, the road has been really rough, but what has kept me going, honestly, is the people who, are my friends and my family. And I really only have, not to sound Vin Diesel, but I really only have family.
Not familiar.
But yeah, but without the support of especially my mother, I mean, my mother has been the rock on how a lot of the music, my guitar, the Gibson SG that is in every video I've done, live show,
I've had that forever.
I have used it in every recording, period. For One Last Time to Moral Code, like that guitar has been involved in everything. And she got me that when I was 15 years old.
I remember.
Yeah.
I remember you had. I don't remember where I saw it. I think you were playing a show, but it was before One Last Time somewhere downtown. Were you in anything before One Last Time like that with play shows, or maybe after?
I did like a mall show.
Yeah.
I played like
It was like a
Time of Your Life with my mom.
like a coffee shop. No, I think it was like a coffee shop. Maybe I played. That's what it was. My band played there, and you were there.
Yeah, I think
It
that's
was
what
terrible.
it is.
That's what it was. Yeah.
Because I didn't do, like I said, I didn't play any live music before
Yeah.
one last time.
Yeah, no, for sure.
But yeah, like, okay, I lost my train of thought. Where were we?
No, but I also want to talk like that. Like your single from your stuff with One Last Time, No Way Out, dude. That song's it's a bop, dude. I love that.
So
song.
that's like,
How do you feel about it right now? That song.
looking back on it, I mean, I was so young, it's hard to take it seriously, you know, because it's me at 18, you know what I mean? But as far as what, I mean,
Are you talking lyrically?
oh, no, definitely not. I'm just saying in general, like, just to listen to it, it's just like, oh, like, you know, listen to me at this age. But, you know, I'm really weird when it comes to reviewing, like, my music because, like, I'm a big stickler on my own stuff. So it's like, I'll just sit back and just be like, you know, it didn't go anywhere, so I don't care. But to be honest with you, it definitely did, because a lot of even now, like, there was a random band I got to tour with that got me connections with a lot of people I would have never got into because of One Last Time and stuff like that. And people's, you know, the fact that now 13 years later, I got people still being like, yo, I still listen to that. That means a lot.
I do. I listen to it at least once a week.
Yeah. And
I've said that on this podcast before, at least once a week.
and that is incredible. And that, you know, like, again, I struggle with being positive. I just do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I get in really negative mindsets all the time.
We're very positive people here.
I mean, speak for yourself. I really am. Did you not hear the last episode? I just want to do hood rat shit with my hood rat friends.
That was that was like 3 episodes ago, bro.
Dude, time is not real.
But it's like, yeah, like the journey has now, you know, I've heard it my whole life, like, oh, you got to appreciate the journey. I've been like, I don't care. I'm not listening to you.
Yeah.
The journey truly is all that you have. Cause like I can't say that, you know, just because like, you know, because I haven't even been able to tour longer than 2.5 weeks, you know, and this has been 13 years and I've only toured 2.5 weeks. I mean, to me, that's terrible. You know what I mean? As like a musician, just keeping it a buck, like, I didn't produce, in my opinion, the results that I could have over this long period of time, but I am still alive. I'm still here, and we're here right now talking, and I got 15 new tracks about to come out this year with the band. We got a whole new attitude and spirit and stuff like that.
That's awesome.
Videos and stuff like that. The world has been reopened, you know what I mean? And, you know, I just keep thinking like that. I just won't ever quit doing this. I realized that, you know, years ago, like, there was many, many times where I was like, I'm not doing this anymore. And every time I'm not about to do it, something will happen. Just be like, no, keep continuing
Keep
forward.
going.
Yeah.
Now, do you think, I mean, you've been doing MMA now for a while, right?
It's for 3 years. Yeah.
Okay. Now, has that helped you a lot?
Too much.
Too much?
Like, helps me too much.
It helps you too much?
Absolutely life transformer. I can't talk about it enough. To be honest with you, there's definitely times where I'm like, you know, I love music, but I really love this too.
Yeah. Dude, I mean,
Are you doing like, is it just like training, or have you like
so just to keep, you know, completely transparent with you guys, I have been doing, you know, on and off martial arts training since 2016. I really took it seriously the fall of the pandemic. Now everyone's gonna be like, what do you mean the fall of the pandemic? You're supposed to be in your house. Well, you know, I was training during 2020. Sorry, guys.
We're not here to judge.
Well, just saying, you know,
the tattoo shop closed for a whole 2 weeks, and that was it. And
dude, I was still working every day. I never had a day off. They never closed.
You guys have YouTube licensing, so obviously the words will be very
please don't say
on this
it.
topic. I will just let you know, scientifically speaking, there were children there. There were a lot of sweat from these children, and we were all fine.
Yeah.
And that was a narrative. And also just in general, we were all together for a while, and there was maybe like 2 times the gym. Now, mind you, they did shut down for that whole summer. Like the moment like the pandemic hit, they were done for a while. But then they reopened when kind of everybody else was sort of reopening at the end of 2020. If you remember, there were places actually trying to be like, all right, like we're going to try to reopen. And they were one of them. And, you know, they kept up there. They're like, hey, if anyone's sick or feeling any symptoms, stay home. They weren't just ignorant, you know, you know what I mean? But at the end of the day, it's just like, you know, we were, you know, going and doing that in that time period where you're just like, trapped in the house, and your identity is now like in front of you. Like, who are you when you don't have this? Who are you when you don't have shows and music and all that stuff? And I had to find myself, and I definitely feel like through martial arts I was able to do that.
Kept you
kept you busy.
Yeah, especially during that,
thinking,
during that time. And like I said, everybody's healthy. Everybody, was pushing through like really well and getting each other better. And now like my friends are winning amateur fights left and right.
That's sweet.
My one friend Hunter May, shout out to him. He just had a viral knockout.
Nice.
Second round, literally had the dude just paralyzed on the ground basically. So
that must be a wild feeling.
Yeah, and I see these guys work. You know what I mean? I see their body of work, and it was just incredible.
Yeah.
Like just to see the type of struggle that they go through.
Right.
It's like the injuries that they have to fight through, the bad days at the gym where I see them, and then they go out and just starch their opponent. It's like, whoa. You know what I mean? Like it's inspiring. So for me to see them, and for me to even be in the same like room as these people and not like, getting destroyed, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Trying to like hang with them. Like some days I get destroyed for sure, but
but you need that to grow,
Yeah. And like I said, like I more so want to compete in jiu-jitsu. I just did tournament last year. It was my first one. It was an in-house tournament, and I did silver in nogi.
Okay,
so that was cool. I did not place.
Is that more like grappling?
Yeah,
like more like rolling around and stuff?
Just grappling in general. So that's like what I'm primarily trying to compete in. I may compete in MMA. I don't know.
Okay, just kind of see where it takes you.
It's a very deep commitment when you want to fight. Like it just is. Like the camp is so much harder than the fight, is what a lot of people will say. So to have people in your DMs basically being like, hey, did you eat this?
Yeah.
Hey, how many calories did you take today? Ooh. Like it may not be as serious as that, but like for an amateur, but I mean, my school, we take it seriously. I mean, as they should. That's Scranton MMA. Yeah.
Is that down by the Dollar General?
No, that's by War Horse.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Right
up the road here.
Yeah.
Okay.
I signed up for that one day.
Oh, really?
For one day.
Did you go to it?
One day.
Yeah?
Yeah.
What happened?
I didn't. So I wanted to.
You're just a bitch.
No, like I wanted to do. So when you sign up, like you have to like do like you have to start with like jujitsu. I think like you have to like. So I did that for the day, but I wanted to do more like I wanted to get more into like boxing or like kickboxing and stuff like that.
It was your.
But you had to like had to do jujitsu first.
Okay.
And I just wasn't feeling it.
That's not the way to get to WWE, right?
Yes, it is.
Well, I know now you don't have to take jujitsu.
No, you can take like
you could just go.
I literally got my gi and like I never went back.
What a loser.
Yeah, tell me about it.
It's definitely a hard walk. I mean, I've gone through my injuries. I just went through multiple injuries because I just don't do jujitsu. I do boxing, Muay Thai, and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I had to.
Yeah, I wanted to do like more like boxing, just like stuff like that. But
again, I'm not in any way, shape, or form gonna.
I forget the main guy down there that like signed me up. He was.
What year was this?
It wasn't that long. It had like maybe like 5 years ago, 4 years ago, something like that. Yeah, it wasn't like forever ago. It was before COVID for sure.
Yeah, and like I said, this my martial arts journey is a lot more personal than it is like me trying to be a fighter. You know what I mean? Like I much rather be a coach or like a training partner. Like it really means the world to me to be able to help be a training partner for some of these guys for their drills, for anything. You know what I mean? Just to like do that. Now, with that being said, in jiu-jitsu, I do definitely want to compete and get better and stuff like that. So I am trying to dig in on that just because there's just more longevity in the sport, less wear and tear. You know what I mean?
I think I was just trying to like be more active and like do something like
for sure
physical.
I mean that it definitely happens there.
Yeah.
What kind of injuries were you dealing with?
So I didn't have any injuries the first 2 years that I was training. This all recently happened since last November. I actually had an AC joint pop.
Okay.
I parried a jab wrong and it just shoulder was just boom. So that was like 6 weeks.
Okay.
Healing. Then I had a rib injury. Soon after that
Was
put
it
me
like
out.
a break or a crack? Or?
It was definitely a ligament pop. I felt like a part of my rib go.
Someone just
in
like kicked
and
the
go
shit out of you?
No, actually, it was during a seminar and we were just drilling, and we both got the same injury. The round before he felt his ribs, he's like, "Oh, something popped." I'm like, "Are you good?" He's like, "Oh yeah, we're good."
Yeah.
Next
Same thing
round,
happened to you?
same thing. It was the weirdest thing ever. So
It's crazy.
now I'm a slight bit of a fitness freak. I'm not saying again. I do not like to talk myself up like I am
No,
a Don
talk
Juan,
your talk, man.
but I do train a lot, and I do like multiple facets of training. I'll do the calisthenics, the powerlifting, the running. The only thing I have not gotten too into is swimming. So that's not it. But yeah.
I don't know, dude. You're shredded. Like I see some of your pictures, dude. You're shredded. Me and Bob were just. I was telling you, Bob I was like, "Yo, is he still doing MMA? The last time I saw a picture of him, he was jacked." I'm like, "Dude, yeah, he's still doing it."
Yeah, I mean, the shape I was in for that picture, I'll be honest, I'm not in that particular shape. That was like after just solid month after month after month. Like it was like 9 straight months, no break of just training.
straight
Training,
diet,
yeah.
straight training, straight everything.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
It is crazy.
Yeah.
You seem like the kind of person that's like
Hyper-focused.
like 100%. Like when you're gonna do something, you're gonna do it like to its
100%,
extent. Yeah, 100%. You're not gonna half-ass anything. Yeah.
It's hard because, like I said, I have been doing this for 3 years, and like I'm finally back to training. I just went back this past.
But does that do you feel like that like takes away from like your music side, or?
To be honest with you, I thought about this recently. Like I had like an inner dialogue. Like, are you not giving
100%? Yeah.
Well, I remember all the hours of video games that I played during this 13-year journey. And oh boy.
So you feel like that adds up to the training?
I feel like I've already been spending my time doing dumb stuff, and I still was able to do this. So let's dumb stuff. Now the only reason why I say dumb stuff,
rude, I'll tell you.
only reason I say dumb stuff is because I'm addicted to Hearthstone, and I've already dropped $6,000.
That's like Magic. Is that Magic?
Yeah,
yeah. But on like a digital.
So
platform?
I say dumb stuff because I'm salty that I didn't win my money back.
You're that like crazy into Hearthstone?
I mean, I have 740 hours alone in Battlegrounds.
Okay.
And I just started playing that like 2 years ago, not even. And then I have 9 golden characters in Hearthstone, which you need 500 ranked wins minimum to get a golden character.
And that's like
some of these classes.
It's a free game, isn't it?
Yeah, but
It can be free.
Yeah, like I said, I dropped $6,000 into this. So,
shit.
Yeah.
And he wonders why he has no money for music.
Again, I was able to do that at a time where I could have dropped that and plus. That was actually during the full length time. To be honest.
Really?
Yeah, when I was getting ready to pay for that.
Yeah.
So.
Any songs about Hearthstone?
Okay. No, but I did have a song with a League of Legends reference that I tossed.
Why are you big in the league too?
I am. Okay. The line was, you played support. I was your ADC. Bars.
That's a game, that's one game I couldn't get into. Like my sister-in-law, like she does, like she teaches
A wombo combo, baby.
she teaches at Lackawanna College, and she also does like she's
a coach.
She's a coach for
a
esports,
league,
for
an
League of
esports
Legends
league. Yeah.
league.
That's
For like
so
the college
sick.
one. Yeah.
That's
I played
so sick.
with her for one night, and I was like, "Fuck this game! I will never touch it again."
In like 2015, I played with them because it was with her and my brother-in-law, and I was just like trying to get into it, and I
played with her and the other sister.
Yeah.
And I just could not.
Yeah.
It was so rough. I was just getting my ass kicked.
Yeah, but you just depend on every role of that game to be good. Like you can't just go on like and
No,
just
we
carry a
played
team.
like I think it was like where you just like it was just the 3 of you and you just kind of fight each other. You don't really,
Okay.
Yeah, like
That's
it wasn't
not League of Legends.
No, but there's like modes.
There's like
in it.
modes in
Yeah,
it.
the modes in
Yeah.
it, and
Yeah,
like
that's
I
not
just
like
got
the
my
esports
ass
stuff.
kicked.
Yeah.
Yeah, League is it's a hard path to start.
Did you watch that series on Paramount?
On
On it wasn't on League of Legends. It was kind of like
no, I don't think I saw that.
it was basically like a comedy show about like an esports a league esports team.
Yeah.
And it was just like, but it was real funny. Like it was like the kid was like a real asshole, not an asshole, but he was just like it was funny. I think it's called Gamers or I'll have to look it up, but it's worth the watch. It has like one season, but it's good.
No,
and
for sure.
and it's all about League. So
Nice.
yeah, it's all about like the esports version of League, and it just like follows this fake team that like has like this funny past, and it's a good show. I'd definitely check
for
it.
sure.
I never seen it.
No,
No.
I don't care. I wouldn't recommend it to you.
I don't really.
These are
watch
one of
a lot
those
TV.
moments where I actually have to check it out and not just yes you to death.
Yeah.
And-
No,
He's just gonna
I'm
yes you.
gonna look up right now. Right now, I'm looking it up
But
so we know the name.
also, like, correct me if I'm wrong. Going back to Moral Code, like right before
No one cares.
going back to going back to like 2019 before the pandemic, did you guys like sign to a label or something and was like supposed to do something big? And
so we had signed to like a booking agency.
okay, I thought I just saw something on social media that like that happened or was gonna happen.
No, so we had just signed. I forget, to be honest with you, it's been a while.
Yeah.
I don't remember what the promotion name was, to be honest with you.
No one cares about your league stuff.
Players. It's the name.
Nice.
Of it. Yeah.
I'll have to check that
It's
out.
on Paramount.
We never signed with anybody. The closest time that Moral Code got to getting anything was when we did do the full length. There
Okay.
was somebody who looked at our record, and I can't speak any more information about it because I'm not.
No, you're good.
But it was
That was like the closest. I gotcha.
let's just put it. It was in the ballpark of pure noise.
Okay.
I definitely wouldn't have signed us at that time because, again, what they were going to sign was a broke kid from Scranton and someone who's full time in NASA and no band. We had no drummer. We had no bassist. We had no touring van. We had no real equipment. You know what I mean? We just had material on the internet.
Right.
Yeah.
And it was like, do you want to make us the next Panic at the Disco? Probably not. So, you know what I mean?
yeah, no, I get it.
I'm not surprised that they passed us over, but there was that.
Okay.
We at least were looked at by people
I
from
just
that
thought
world.
I saw something on social media, but it might have been something else. But also I want to get into your sound for Moral Code because it's very like it's definitely you could definitely hear the punk in it. You also hear like a post-hardcore in it.
Yeah.
But you can also hear something different that's like a combination of a bunch of things, like Story of the Year almost, kind of like post-hardcore, like pop punk.
Yeah.
Is that what you're planning? Like, I know you said you were going to do punk. Like, that's what you wanted to do.
Yeah.
Did you see yourself going down these all? Because you can agree with me. It's not just one genre, right?
No. So I will definitely say, the working with Jamin and his, work with writing, like he's a lot more into the indie bands than I am, and I'm primarily just into Tiger's Jaw and Title Fight, like anything from Scranton or the NEPA area. I'm not like big into indie music outside of like
You're more or less into them because it's your area.
Yeah. To be honest with you, primarily the music that I listen to is out now is new wave, like dream pop. To be honest with you.
Okay.
Yeah, and I still listen to a lot of like classic rock and stuff like that. That's just
Right.
what I do. Google,
So are you
Google
saying-
Dolls are great. Jamin honestly is what you're hearing. You're hearing a large combination of like his influences, which is like Basement and Drug Church and who else did he show me?
I don't know what these words mean.
Yeah. Bands like that, basically. That's like his ballpark. And then for me, I'm bringing, honestly, a lot of like just the metal or outside of it. Like there's a lot of like melodic hardcore-ish type of, like for instance, Blue Noise.
Okay.
The chords that I use for most of that, you could find those in For the Fallen Dream songs.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean?
5/7/8 structure.
melodic hardcore type of chord structures were used to write that song. So
I feel like you have this good blend though that like is like perfect for this time because it's very like listenable from like your everyday listener, but you can also do what you need to do for your fans that like the heavier version of your stuff with like a lot of your songs have that metalcore. You can hear it. It's not like fully there, but I'm sure I haven't seen you guys live yet, but I've seen some live video. But you guys still throw down live. Am I wrong? Like you guys still like
yeah,
put
our
on, like, a
show,
where, like, it's all
in
over
Philly, the first show that we played with, it was with the Snow Channel.
Okay.
And some other bands. Only reason why I know Snow Channel is they're my boys. But we played this song called Pressure, which is one of our more popular songs.
That's off the first full? Was that off the first
This is off Stop the World EP.
Okay.
And yeah, I mean, the whole room was having fun.
Yeah.
And that's cool that a band's, like us can get that type of
For sure.
reaction. But we, again, I feel like they can feel, our passion in the music. And, we aren't just, a pop punk band. We aren't just an indie band. Like, honestly, I would just kind of call us just a rock band, to be honest with you.
Right.
Like, we really aren't doing anything other than what alternative rock bands have done in the past. We're just using different elements and, that other people wouldn't. Like I said, Title Fight's one of our biggest influences.
Right. I just feel
Tiger's
like it caters
Jaw.
to a wide variety of listeners, in my opinion.
Yeah, and I think that just also has to do with the combination of me and Jamin's versatility in how we write. You know what I mean? It's not necessarily what we're listening to. It's like in the way that we put it out. Like, I feel like the way that we wrote the music was what am I trying to say here? We write our music with a lot more emotion and feeling than we do oh, this part sounds good. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like, this part sounds cool is what we usually say.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Then it's like, oh, this is fight riff or whatever.
Right.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, when we play that chord, and it's like, whoa, that's cool.
Yeah.
Keep that. You know what I mean? Like, that's,
but then this means something here.
yeah, exactly. Like, we are painters on the canvas. Like, we're not limiting ourselves to a certain standard. Like, if we can add a counterparts riff and make it sound indie, we're going to do that because it sounds cool and sounds cool to me. You know what I mean? Like, that's really what you're hearing. You're just hearing us just using our whole playlist and kind of taking from here, taking from there, taking from here. And that feels good. That feels good.
Right.
I got you.
Put it all together. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. So let's promote what we got coming out.
So
let's end this on some good promotions.
yes, I believe, because we're doing it ourselves. Again, the DIY EP.
Yeah.
The DIY EP.
It's a good name for it.
It is a good name for it. DIY. Is going to be coming out in, I believe, June is what we just discussed in the group chat. We're trying to get that out. And the full length that we have, that's going to be called Nuclear Family. Is it called? Is it Nuclear Family? No, it definitely is Nuclear Family.
Okay.
Yes, the full length is called Nuclear Family, and that'll be out. We're projecting that for the end of September.
Okay. Now the one that's coming out in June, that is the more current stuff.
That's the more current stuff.
The full length is something that's been recorded.
Been recorded for years. And
hasn't
just
been released.
Not been released yet.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we got June and September.
Yeah.
Okay.
Perfect.
And what direction are you looking to go in the future? Like, what's your path looking like?
So
I know you don't know everything. Like you take it as
I
you
mean,
get it, but
so to be honest with you, the biggest thing I believe that will change, this band's trajectory is just simply consistency.
Okay.
There's really not.
is that something that has been lacking? With
Yeah, like for the shows.
Okay.
So if we could just play more shows and play, I don't want to say like better shows, like the shows we have playing haven't been good. We've definitely been playing good, especially this year. Yeah. We played 2 shows in Philly and they have gone amazing.
So would you say like bigger shows then?
I would just say in
just
better
more.
locations
Better
too.
locations.
Like I've been doing this for 13 years. I don't want to play in front of people sitting at tables and fold up chairs anymore.
Yeah. No, I got you.
If I find out that that's what's going to happen, I don't want to play that show. Okay. That's like my first.
You're just over that.
bar.
You're done with it.
Yeah. Over the random, coffee shop shows and stuff like that. I'd rather chill, wait, and get on an actual bill. And you know what I mean? I don't
An actual
oppose to playing
venue.
bars. Yeah, I'm not opposed
Right.
to playing bars or any stuff like that. We just did a 21+ show in Philly.
Yeah.
And it went well. You know what I mean? But again, it's like we have been classically saying yes to pretty much everything. I mean, we have played everything that anyone has asked us to play. And it's at this point now where it's like we have to preserve ourselves to save ourselves for better opportunities. So really just the plan, honestly, is just to be more consistent and to keep, this unit that's in now, like all the people involved right now, I really have never felt like this much structure in this band. Pretty much ever, to be honest with you. Even with all the, whatever success that I had in the past, you know, with, you know, other bands prior and stuff like that. I would say like in this moment right now, this is the greatest gelling unit that I've ever been a part of musically. I could say that. I could definitely say that. Where everybody equally wants music to be a big part of their life. And, you know, if they don't want it to be their entire life, it's definitely something that they're vocally talking to me, communicating with me, being honest.
Yeah, that's the biggest thing right there is just communication.
Yeah, we talk like our chat actually is active and we actually all are friends and we communicate. And that's like huge. Very huge. Yeah,
you got to make sure everybody wants to be part of what you're doing.
So let's just get out there. That's my plan. I want to get out there and get on the field and throw some balls. You know?
Definitely. What's your next show coming up?
So the next show, May 6th at Curry Donuts.
Curry Donuts.
Curry
where?
Donuts. Wilkes-Barre.
Wilkes-Barre.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Curry Donuts, like parking lot or like inside?
I believe it's inside. Could be in the parking lot.
Okay.
But I believe it's inside.
Is it like just any other bands playing too?
Yeah. I'll be honest with you.
Or is it just
my
you with
phone
the
is
acoustic
off and
guitar?
I don't have all of it. I know that OK Buddy is playing.
Okay.
And that's about it. There's definitely other bands playing. I am very sorry. My
you're
phone
good.
is off. But
And when is that? June?
May 6th.
May 6th.
May 6th. Yeah.
Okay. So next
anything
month.
else lined up show wise?
Right now, after that show, we're trying to do a video for one of the songs off the EP.
Okay.
And focus on like
For the
promotion.
release of June?
Yeah. Because we want to release EP show.
Okay.
Which, in my opinion, we should do in Harrisburg. We have a decent amount of, in my opinion, people that like us down there.
Okay.
And I would like to do our EP release show in Harrisburg or Philly.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Damn, I just lost my whole train of thought.
Jesus.
Yeah, it's bad.
I think you're just like sucked into his voice.
Yeah, I am. I'm starstruck right now.
Yeah. All right. Good.
Take it away.
Yeah, I got you.
Know what's going on.
All right. So yeah. So we got the show coming May 6th.
May 6th.
Yeah.
May 6th. We got the EP, the short version, the new EP.
The new EP.
The new EP. No name.
No name. DIY EP.
DIY. Yeah.
In June.
In June. And then September is going to be that full length EP.
Nuclear Family.
Yeah. And then where can we find you? You're located on Spotify.
YouTube,
YouTube,
and I believe Apple Music.
Apple
Moral
Music.
Code.
Okay. Moral Code.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Sweet.
You should do a sick video for like training MMA stuff for one of your videos.
See, I already did that in like a random hip hop group that I
did you?
called Enterprise.
Dude, whatever.
Yeah.
Oh, whatever. Is that?
Dude, we don't have time. We're well over.
Yeah, we're well over the time.
Dude,
but just real quick, what happened to that? Again, the pandemic.
I was gonna say because
We played a show in March.
Yeah,
or around that time.
The
January.
top of the one video you did with on the top of the parking garage.
Yeah.
Yeah. I forgot about that.
Yeah.
In June when the EP drops, we'll have them back on.
Okay.
And then we can talk more about that.
Yeah. Any kind of like, can you point us in the genre what this new EP is gonna sound like, and then we'll
It's basically the same
Moral
stuff
Code
that everyone has heard. Now the EP is leaning a lot more towards honestly some Deftones feels, which is definitely new for us. This one song, I mean, could be completely talking out of my butt here, but I thought it sounded like a Linkin Park song.
Okay.
So.
All right.
I mean, it's good timing for that.
Yeah.
So but the full length though is definitely everything that people have heard from us.
For sure.
plus more.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
Sweet.
So,
definitely check out that EP coming in
June.
Right.
Don't let me get that wrong. The full length EP will be in September.
Yeah, the full length album.
Yeah, full length album.
In September. Yep.
Yeah. But the new one is coming out sooner. The old stuff is coming out later.
Yep.
It's a little confusing, but here we are.
All the content will be out.
We're gonna throw down in Curry Donuts Park.
We're gonna be down
May
in
6th.
Yeah, we're gonna be down in Curry Donuts May 6th.
I'll be there.
Okay.
I'll come too.
Awesome.
For sure.
I'm holding you to it.
What day of the week is that?
Ooh, I believe it's on a Saturday. I'm pretty sure.
Is it a day show or?
It's a day show, yeah. Well, wait, is it a day show? Hold on a second.
It is a Saturday.
Yeah, I believe it's.
If it's a later show, I will definitely be there. But if it's not a later show, I got work.
I came completely unprepared, as you can
You're
see.
good.
Yeah, it's all
6
good.
o'clock is definitely when people will be there, and the show is available. I know that for a fact.
Okay. Well, if it's 6 o'clock, I should be all right to make it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Yeah.
All right.
But again, thanks, Kenny, for coming
Yes,
on.
thank you,
Kenny, I
guys.
appreciate
Yeah,
it. We'll
we'll
definitely
have
do more stuff in the future.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
definitely.
And we'll catch you on the next time.